Hello, everyone. The Success Coach here with MaximumChange.com. Hope you're doing well today. It's a warmer day here in Southern Ohio, but it's still cold. It's about 49 degrees right now. Wow, it's really warming up. I wanted to talk to you today about something that I have been walking through for 6 to 9 months now. And I wanted to share with you some of my insights into this. I want to talk to you about how I took my social media fan following, my followers, it was a couple thousand across several different social media platforms, and how I grew that to 40,000 followers today in just a few months. And I really started out this process, I'd say about 6 months ago, where I started working on this and trying to figure it out. And then within the last, let's say, 2 to 3 months, my social media platforms have started to grow. And I talked about this a little bit today on my podcast, but I wanted to go in a little deeper. I wanted to drill down a little bit more into some of the areas that I didn't drill down into in my podcast. And so what I wanted to talk to you about, if you're a business owner or you're an entrepreneur, you're thinking about starting a business, maybe a wantrepreneur right at the moment, you kind of have this idea. I want to tell you that right now is the time to be involved in social media and building your platform, building your image, building who you are. Part of what I'm doing is these live videos. I try to do them Monday through Thursday at 12:30 Eastern time, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then I save the videos here on the platform. Now Facebook likes it when you do live videos because they want more content. The content is king on the Facebook platform because the way they make money is through advertisement. And so if you have content on your platform, people will want to advertise. And so that's why they really encourage you. And that's, I think, why Facebook Live is free. And I think it's great that it's free. But anyhow, I've been looking at my social media and I've been following it. And what's interesting is I started out ignoring like Facebook and Instagram because I thought that my followership would not come from those platforms. And incidentally, it seems like my most engaged audience is on Facebook and Instagram. And so what's interesting is I kind of ignored Facebook for a long time, and that's probably why I'm around 1,100 followers right now. But if you notice, I've grown about 200 followers in about a month's time, a little over a month. And so that's a lot for someone who was ignoring the platform altogether. Now, my Instagram account is somewhere around 21,000 followers, and I want to talk to you about that in a moment, how that happened. But Twitter has always been kind of one of those anomalies for me. I hover around 3,000 followers there on Twitter, roughly 3,034, and that goes up and down by 50, and it's really bizarre to watch it happen. So partly because I'm not really engaged enough on Twitter. I do tweet stuff on a regular basis, but I'm not like there engaged like I am on Instagram and here on Facebook, and I do Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives, and then the other platform that's really growing for me is LinkedIn, and I'm up around 9,900 followers right now, and I'm telling you these numbers because they're public. You can go look at my social media and find out what's going on. So let me just kind of give you an insight into what I've done to grow my followership to literally a few thousand followers. In fact, I was probably around 3,000 followers in September of this last year, September of 2018. I was around 2,000 or 3,000 followers through several different platforms. So when I look at my platforms, the ones that I track and I'm keeping interest in is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Tumblr. Now, what's interesting is Tumblr is one of those that I've really not done a lot of work in, and yet I've gone from, since October, I've gone from 150 followers to over 300 just in a few months' time, and I haven't been doing anything with them. I mean, I've been posting things, but I really haven't been active like I am here on Facebook and Instagram. So let me just tell you what I've been doing. Every day, I've been posting content out there. Now, sometimes it is motivational content, sometimes it's my own content, sometimes it's videos, sometimes it's a link to something I'm doing, hey, buy my book, whatever, but I'm constantly providing information, and the more I do this, the interesting thing is that people start responding to it. Now, it's taken me time to get this momentum rolling, and what I'm feeling right now is there is a momentum moving, and so I have to keep going with this, because the more you roll the ball, the more inertia goes, and the more momentum you get. And so what I want to make sure is that I communicate with you some of the things that I'm doing in hopes that they help you. So one of the things that I did was I started posting on a regular basis on Facebook. Now, Facebook has this wonderful tool that you can use where you can schedule posts ahead of time. Now, I've scheduled a whole month out before. Like I took a day and I just scheduled it out. That's back when I was doing it. And then I've done it where the day before I'm scheduling for the next day or maybe the next day and the day after that. So maybe 2 days in advance. And that takes me, when I'm doing it, roughly 15 minutes. And so that's not a lot of time. I mean, it is time consuming, but it doesn't take me a lot of time. And what I'm doing, the two key times for me are really about 10 a.m. in the morning Eastern time and roughly 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. So what I do is I actually schedule a post for every hour at 8 o'clock in the morning through 8 o'clock in the evening. So for that time period, 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening, I have these posts that are hitting, and they're usually motivational or whatever. Now, I have learned this technique that you don't want to schedule your posts for on the hour. Because you think about it, everybody's there doing that at the same time. So I usually choose a time after the hour. So let's say 8:05, 5 minutes after each hour, 9:05, 10:05, and so forth. Now, you could schedule it around the time you do a live video. So for me, I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. So I could schedule my posts for 30 minutes, but typically it's better to not do it on the half hour. Don't do it on a whole hour or half hour. You do it somewhere in between, or maybe you want to do it a little bit before that time. So make sure that you're doing regular content. Now, you don't have to do like I do 12 hours of posting. I would encourage you to do a minimum of 4 to 6 posts a day, and make sure that they're uplifting, motivational. Try to stay away from the negative. I understand sometimes you might want to catch someone's attention by saying something in a negative context to shock them, for the shock value, but I typically try to stay away from the negative and focus on optimism, positive, motivational, uplifting, inspirational type information. Now, you might find for me that I will post things that run the scale. Like I'm a business owner that happens to be a Christian, so sometimes I post a scripture or more religious toned inspirational type things. But then sometimes there might be a post that slips in with maybe a cuss word or something. And I catch some heat from that sometimes, because people are like, oh, you're a Christian, you shouldn't be doing that. This is real life. I am a business owner. I'm called to the field of business, and it just so happens I'm a Christian, and I try to do things that are not morally reprehensible. But the reality is that we live in the real world, and the real world uses some of that language, and not all of my followers are actually Christian. And so I am not opposed to sometimes using posts that might shock someone's system. Because here's the deal. If you're a Christian, if you're not a Christian, don't listen to this. But if you're a Christian, Wouldn't it be better to sound like the rest of the world when you're trying to help the rest of the world and become more pleasing and palatable to the rest of the world without shoving it down their throat that they're doing something wrong? Now, if you're not a Christian, there's nothing wrong with your stance. That's the decision you've made, or that's where you are in your life, and I'm not trying to convince you of anything. All I'm saying is that I want to be authentic. And I think you should be authentic and true to yourself. Now, do I cuss and carry on? No, I don't. But I live in the real world. I live in real world. Realsville, if you want to use that term. All right, so the other thing that I do is, aside from these regular live posts, I try to do some live posts over on Instagram Live. And the other thing that I've done is, on occasion, I've engaged an organization to help me grow my followers. Now, there's many different ways you can do that. Some are just go out there and buy followers. And the problem with that is that you buy these followers and a whole bunch of them fall back off because you didn't follow them back. Because all they're doing is they're following you in hopes you'll follow them. And quite frankly, I don't have time to follow people, not because I'm not interested in them. And I'm sure there's a lot of great people out there that deserve to be followed. But my goal is to get as much information out into the hands of business owners and entrepreneurs as possible. And if I'm following people and unfollowing people all the time, it's a waste of time. So typically, I don't follow people. And then I get this where someone will say, hey, I like your stuff. Why don't you follow me? And then I look and they're not following me. So I say, hey, why don't you follow me if you like my stuff so much? And I say it nicely, but my point is this. If you're going to engage a service, make sure that you engage a service that's actually going to look for qualified, bona fide leads and not just buying followers. And so if you need help in engaging an organization, I know one that's excellent. I'm not getting a kickback or anything from them, but I would love to put you in touch with them on Instagram. And they are great. They're two women, and they're just wonderful women. And I would encourage you to engage them. And so there are many different ways to grow your audience. And why do you want to grow your audience? Because the more people, the more eyes and ears that are consuming your content, the more virility. In other words, it becomes viral. The more virility that happens, and it adds to that momentum that's already in play. So I would encourage you, if you are being serious about growing your business, you must have a plan in place. Now, for me, I have a war map. And what I have set up is every day on my war map for a whole month, and I actually have it set for next month as well, is that I know each day what I'm going to talk about in my 30-minute Facebook Live. Or I might have it, I might have a couple of subjects. One might be for Instagram Live. One might be for, this Facebook Live. One might be the training that I'm doing for my mentorship groups and my masterminds. And so I've got these all planned out on my war map. And by the way, if you're looking for a war map, I've got one on my website at MaximumChange.com. If you go to the upper right-hand corner, there's a thing there to log in as a member. If you're not a member yet, it'll allow you to set up a membership. It's free. It don't ask for anything. You have to enter in your email address and a password. But once you've done that and we approve you to go in, you can get access to the war map and other resources that are there and the video trainings that are there. And hopefully this video will be part of that training at some point as well. So the key to your success, the key to growing your followership, if you have just a few followers right now, maybe a couple hundred, maybe you're a couple thousand like I was. And by the way, I started out at nothing just like you did. So there's nothing new there, nothing new under the sun. I started out at a low number. And so, we all do this. But the truth is that the more you engage your audience, and I'm not meaning every 5 seconds you're posting something, because that's like a machine gun and pretty soon they'll start unfollowing you. But for me, it's every hour, and I try to add in content like this. And so you'll want to give content that adds value. And obviously I don't get paid to do these videos. I'm doing these videos because I want you to learn and I want you to grow. And obviously if there's something I can do to help you in the future, I would hope that you would think of me. And of course, there's resources that are available at MaximumChange.com. And I know that everyone starts out at different levels. Not everyone can afford my fees at the beginning. And so there's that free level, and then there's a month-to-month level, and then so on. So if you're interested in any of that, go to MaximumChange.com and engage us. Look for, reach out to us, and we'd be happy to talk to you and help you to grow your business, help you to identify your target audience and build your preferred client avatar, and figure out how to do Facebook ads. And by the way, I didn't even say that. I do run Facebook ads for my Facebook page. And sometimes I'll run a Facebook ad that will push to my website, MaximumChange.com. But specifically, I'm trying to grow my Facebook page because, to be honest with you, when you have a Facebook page, it becomes a club. It becomes an audience that's interested in what you're doing and what you're churning, and you want to keep that churning going and keep that information flowing so that there's an interest out there. So that's pretty much how I went in a very broad spectrum. That's pretty much how I went from a couple thousand followers a few months ago to now I'm over 40,000 followers across several different platforms. That's LinkedIn, that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. And so across those platforms, I'm over 40,000 followers. So it's really exciting. I'm excited because I get to share with you some of the exciting things that are going on in my business, and I'm just happy to be here with you. I stay very busy, but I would love to hear from you. I'd love to help you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below this video. Like this video, share this video, invite people to come watch the video, and invite them to join the Facebook page. And by the way, if you're watching this video outside of Facebook, it's facebook.com/TheSuccessCoachMC. And I'm going to go ahead and put that off to the side here, facebook.com/TheSuccessCoachMC. And there is the link to our Facebook page. I'm Dr. Foster. I'm the Success Coach with MaximumChange.com, and I would love to hear from you. I'd love to help you build your empire and see you exceed to levels you've never thought possible. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you have a great day. See you soon.